right, so for baseball fans everywhere, the 2026 World Baseball Classic was supposed to be this incredible encore performance. But then on February 1st, Dodgers manager Dave Roberts came out with some news that, well, really put a damper on things. And there you have it, the official word. I mean, what a massive blow, right? Especially for anyone who was hoping to see a repeat of that legendary showdown between Ohtani and Mike Trout from 2023. Now, let's be super clear. Ohtani will still be playing, he'll be the designated hitter, and he's going to be an absolute menace at the plate. But him not being on the mound, that's the real story here. And this is where it gets really, really fascinating. Your first thought, my first thought, is injury, right? Has to be. But Ohtani himself has said he feels very healthy, that he's had a normal offseason. So if his body's good to go, what is it? The real barrier here isn't physical at all. It's a cold, hard financial policy. Yeah, let's talk about the $280 million insurance wall. I know it sounds like something out of a science fiction movie, but this is a very real barrier that has literally grounded the most expensive athlete in the world. This has nothing to do with baseball strategy. This is all about the business of risk. So where in the world does a number that staggering come from? Well, here's the deal with the WBC's insurance policy. The insurer agrees to cover a player's salary if they get hurt during the tournament. But here's the key. For pitchers, that coverage lasts for 4 full years. You can probably see where this is going. Okay, let's do the math. Ohtani's historic $700 million contract has an annual value of about $70 million. You multiply that by the 4 years of coverage for a pitcher, and you land at a potential liability of $280 million. To an insurance company, that's not just a big check to write. That is what you call a bankruptcy-level risk. They aren't just insuring an arm, they're insuring the single biggest contract in sports history. And this is where you really have to see it from the insurer's point of view. They don't just see a superstar athlete, they see a data profile. Players get sorted into these risk categories, and Ohtani's medical history, well, it puts him into a very specific, very high-risk bucket. He lands squarely in what the insurance world calls the chronic condition category. See, the WBC rules flag any player with multiple major surgeries, or even just a recent one. Because Ohtani has had 2 Tommy John-style procedures on that elbow, the insurers officially label his pitching arm a pre-existing condition. And what happens when you get that label? It's severe. When an asset is considered this risky, the cost to insure it becomes insane, or the company just walks away. And in this case, for the specific role of pitcher, the insurer issued a flat denial. No coverage. Period. End of discussion. So you might be thinking, well, couldn't the Dodgers just, roll the dice, take the risk themselves? And technically, the answer is yes. A team is allowed to waive the insurance requirement and let a guy play. But let's really, really look at what that would mean for the team. The Dodgers were basically looking at an impossible choice. On one hand, let him pitch uninsured in an exhibition tournament. If the absolute worst happens, they are on the hook for the entire $700 million contract with $0 coming back from insurance. Or, on the other hand, they can forbid him from pitching and protect what is, let's be real, a billion-dollar asset when you factor in everything else. From a pure business perspective, it's not a choice at all. It's just a mandatory move to ensure the company's survival. And this story is much bigger than just Shohei Ohtani. His situation is just the most high-profile example of a huge problem that is threatening the entire idea of international baseball. And this problem really came into focus when you look at what happened with Team Puerto Rico. Team Puerto Rico, for instance, almost had their roster completely fall apart. We're talking 8 to 10 of their star players. Guys like Francisco Lindor were also flat-out denied insurance. So why the sudden crackdown? Well, remember the devastating injuries to Edwin Diaz and Jose Altuve back in the 2023 tournament? That sent shockwaves through the insurance industry, and now the underwriting rules are way, way stricter. All of this leads to a pretty troubling conclusion. The very essence of what makes the WBC so special, seeing the absolute best players in the world competing for their countries, is now genuinely under threat. We're actually at a point where the world's greatest talents are being told they have to sit out, not because their bodies can't do it, but because of some financial paperwork. So let's bring it all back to the man at the center of this storm. What does all of this actually mean for Shohei Ohtani, the player who completely redefined what we thought was possible in this sport? You just have to imagine how frustrating this is for a competitor of his caliber. But look, he's a pro, and he's focused on the Dodgers and winning a World Series. He's still going to be the most dangerous hitter in the entire WBC. But that unique two-way ability, that unicorn status, for now, it's locked away in a golden cage that was ironically built by his own historic success. So why does this all matter? Because the 2026 World Baseball Classic might just go down in history as the moment the business of baseball fundamentally changed. It proved that there's a force out there even more powerful than a 100-mile-per-hour fastball. It proved that even a once-in-a-century talent, a true unicorn, can be stopped dead in his tracks by the stroke of an underwriter's pen. It leaves you with a pretty big question. What does the future of sports look like when the price of greatness becomes too high to insure?